Ready.
Okay, so yesterday, Team Novak, we go to a conference with real estate agents. Some of the top, or probably most of them, the top 1% in the country with the sales team, the Novak sales team. And we wanted to observe today of what all these guys and girls had in common. Stay tuned. Hey, yo.
Good morning.
What do you reckon about this ghost look I got going on?
Yeah, you're like a ghost storyteller, like when they shine the torch under the chin.
Black background.
Unveiling secrets with Mark. It's a proper story.
Yeah. So yesterday we go to the Teslin conference. Josh
Yeah.
Teslin, highest volume agent in the country.
Yeah.
Started his business only a couple of years ago, only 27 years of age. And there's observations, there's learnings, there's things that we see and don't see. What was your takeaway, Billy Bob?
Yeah, it was an unbelievable day.
You loved it.
There's probably about 10 speakers, 10 to 12 speakers. And not all real estate agents as well. So there was the number one residential mortgage broker in the country in attendance, who put on an amazing speech. There was a franchise owner, so retired, a franchise owner of one of the biggest corporations in the country, retired now, but he gave some insight. There's some really cool speeches from a couple of sort of outliers, not agents.
A bit of heritage there. There was 4 generations of the White family represented. I didn't realize that the White family had been in real estate that long. There was, and look, I'm fully conscious and fully aware that, you know, as a client, people that are consumers that are of our services, they don't really care if you're selling a lot or a little, but the honeypot, or the way these guys are attracting their clients and the offerings that they offer their clients, their competitors can't offer. So the clients are actually getting a better service, a better experience as a result of these agents' hard work. So, you know, like, people don't care. I guess when you're selecting, you know, a real estate agent, whether they've sold 10,000 properties or whether they've sold 100, you just want a really, really good price and a really, really good experience. But these guys are pulling that off big time.
Yeah, and I think for me yesterday, the 3 takeaways, what all of these guys have in common in their field, and it really does apply to any business, is first of all, their consistency across their whole business is just spot on. It's like they're you use the term, Mark, running an airport. It is all just a serious operation. Number 2, they've all got processes for absolutely everything. There's a plan A, there's a plan B, there's a plan C. You know, everyone has, if they've got a team working around them, you know, sticks to their lane and often specializes in a certain field. And then third of all, just the work hours. It's definitely no hidden secret. I think now that, you know, these guys are putting in some serious hours, some big shifts, and it seems to be the whole sort of top 10% are doing the same thing in whatever field they're doing.
Oh yeah, I reckon it's even the top 0.1% of those guys out there when you consider how many agents in the country.
Yeah,
Billy, you're a little bit in shock from the day, because we went and had there was a bit of a get together afterwards at the Ivy, and there was 800 agents at the conference, and there was probably about 50 to 100 people afterwards, and you know, you and I having a bit of a chat. You're in shock as to a couple of things. So how did that conversation go with us? If you want to share it with everyone, I found it pretty interesting, because I sort of found that it's one thing to hear it from people that you work with, but then it's another sort of affirmation, another thing to hear it from other people around you.
So there's a couple of things, couple of observations. First of all, it was probably the best party I've ever been invited to. The Ivy is very special, holds a very dear place in my heart after last night. just to frame it up, guys, we're talking about like a little jacuzzi. Not that I jumped in the jacuzzi, but there was a jacuzzi. There was free food. Josh Teslin kindly put on free drinks, and there were like 100, real estate agents, all high performing that you could just mingle with. And I was saying, as someone who generally likes to kind of socialize, it's very hard to find 100 people in a room that want to talk about the same thing. So that was a big bonus.
Yep. And what were your takeaways?
The takeaways were how much investment these guys back into personal branding. It is just astonishing. They treat themselves and their names like their own business, even within the businesses that they work in. So Christian Stevens, for example, number one residential mortgage broker in the country, he's set himself up as a business unit that operates and markets themselves like a whole sort of whole different umbrella under the Shaw Financial one. And then you come across to a number one sort of upcoming agent in another area that out of our sort of local area. But again, this guy's marketing himself as an agent, as a specialist under the umbrella of Ray White. It's pretty cool to see.
And I was really impressed by the Ray White brand. I found that with franchises over 30 years of observing as a real estate agent, I think franchises have been turned upside down. I think consumers and products, it's always been brand first, people second. In all industries, and I think with individualization, it's now people first, brand second, and that was a really big change for me to see as a business operator, business person, and real estate agent, to see how Ray White was treating that with people. And I was talking with Greg Jemison's solicitor yesterday about it, and we're joking about chips and how much we love chips. As in grocery store chips, not hot chips. And we were saying that you used to go and select 3 different flavors: chicken, salt and vinegar, or plain, and that was Smith's chips. And that was almost like the corporate world. It was very plain that way. Now when you go to buy a packet of chips, there is probably 300 different types of options of chips of what you can choose, all of which represent different things. And the industry has gone that way. And that's what I also saw with the Ray White brand yesterday, that they were supporting the individual flavors vigorously, and they were putting their brand aside, but they were there as a support network. So I think for customers, that's a huge thing, that customers now get that freedom of selection, whereas they're not just force-fed and pushed down that avenue of, you can either use McGrath, or you can use Novak, or you can use that. It's sort of like, no. You've got 100 different choices here, Mr. Customer. And the experience of the customer that's choosing those services is great, because they really get that fit for them.
Yeah, it's true. You could definitely see that in the room yesterday as well, how, everyone's got their own little niche. Everyone's got their own, spin on things. And Lisa said that Uber Eats is a great example. We used to only be able to, order food from the local Chinese takeaway. Now you've got everything at your fingertips.
Everything. Agents are the same. And the consumers are the winner. Like, it's a really cool thing for consumers that you can. It's great.
It was a very good day out. Definitely one look forward to trying to copy again sometime soon. Big thanks to Josh for putting us up.
Yeah, good on you, Josh. And one thing also I took away from yesterday was the gravity of hard work in the room, on the stage, These guys, and Billy, you'd be a testament to this. I'm often talking about work ethic, and I'm often talking about hard work, but these guys were uncomfortably hardworking, and it sort of made you sort of move around in your seat a little bit when you hear of the hours and the dedication to their industry and to their customers.
Yeah.
You know, that was unwavering. You know, there, and I think that if you strip away all the layers and you look at just how like that only, like how can you not want to choose those operators that are operating like that, because they are so dedicated to their customer, they are so dedicated to their industry and their work. You almost can't fail, you know, when you've got that much focus on something. You know, I think it's important in business also, family. And I think
a lot yesterday.
yeah, like, you know, for instance, Josh's parents were, you know, his mum and his dad and his beautiful wife are there in full, you know, in full force, and his sisters often are they were there last night, you know, supporting. But yeah, I think that wasn't really spoken about much yesterday. That balance in life, it was very skewed to radical hard work. But look, for people that are watching today, that's what we learned. That's what I in particular learned from yesterday. And you know what? Nothing's changed. It's celebrated, and it's the same thing that was celebrated 10 years ago and 20 years ago and 30 years ago, as to what you have to do to be an ultra operator in your business.
But it was interesting talking to a room of high performers that I think everyone would argue that they're, you know, hardworking in their own way. But when you realize what the, you know, the top 0.1% do, it almost sounds like crazy. But if you took them outside of that room, you think you need to go for a health checkup. It doesn't sound like normal. You know, that was, I think that was big. And for everyone that was talking about, you know, the early stages of their career, which is obviously what I was most interested in, a lot of them didn't have anything to show for the first 2 years, which for someone who you know, is naturally impatient or wants to see results, especially after you put in big hours, it's frustrating, but I guess reassuring to know it was the same for everyone else.
Now let's talk about, before we go, let's talk about Lisa Novak.
Lisa did amazing. I think Lisa unbiasedly had the best entrance. Our media team put an unbelievable prezzo together.
So that was spectacular. So it wasn't really a drum roll; it was an African drum roll, where you beat to the drum, and hot pink big text in there. And Lisa's had a lot of practice at this now, and from the time that she first went on stage to when I'd seen her on stage, I guess the biggest difference is she was more comfortable. And what she had to offer there, like the amount of people that came up afterwards, even before Lisa spoke and offered words of support, was so beautiful. Something that I noticed is, this is totally sexist what I'm saying, but girls are really good at supporting each other. The whole girl power thing is frightening. Boys sort of beat their chest a little bit, and flash around a bit of bling, but girls, yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. That came out of the conference. You know, when you see that sort of support that they have for each other, and it's not just an industry thing. It's a like, you know, it's amazing that the passion that Lisa has and that people have for her in her career. So seeing that was pretty cool.
It was special. It was an amazing speech. I think everyone appreciated it.
Yeah, that's
the show. That's the show. You gotta love the industry we work in. We were saying yesterday, it was very, very special.
and a lot of people came from all around Australia, which was a huge effort. You know, from South Australia, from Queensland, from northern New South Wales to Tasmania it was just phenomenal. Marty Fox, I got to have a bit of a chat with one-on-one. Beautiful man.
Yeah, he was a crowd pleaser. I was in the crowd, but I was in the crowd and I was listening to all the girls going pretty good, but all the blokes were going pretty good.
Good speaker. So, hey, look,
Good
everyone
speaker.
did well
Very
done.
good.
Everyone who spoke yesterday, thank you for being part of it. And Lisa, super proud. What a girl, and what a ride she's had in her career in real estate. And thanks to all of our customers and friends and family for the support.
Yeah, thanks guys. Awesome day out. See you later.
See you, legend. Cheers. Bye, everyone.